So Amazon's big camera price mistakes and errors. Sony's A7S III gets delayed a little longer. And is this new upcoming announcement in a few days going to be the Sony RX10 Mark V? We talk about that in this little news segment. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on the latest content. What's going on, everybody? It's that one camera guy back at again with another video for you. This is like my news segment, so to speak, that I would like to do maybe once a week, kind of curtailing some interesting topics that I want to go over related to Sony and so forth in the camera world, things that I have an interest for. And the big one, the big story, I think, it's over the A7R IV. Who cares about the A7R IV at this point? Is the price mistake Amazon had with cameras during their Prime Day sale deal. I don't know if any of you caught wind of it, or maybe you were the very fortunate few that bought something that got a camera or lens combo for $94, $95. But if you did, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if you did, and I would slowly die inside, but be very happy for you that you got a really awesome deal. The funny thing that hurts inside is that I saw the deal get posted when it was starting to grow, and people caught wind of it. I don't know at the point where I caught wind of it that it would have happened, but when I did see it in its early kind of stages on the Slick Deals forum, I considered it, but it seemed one of those things that were so far out, you know, it's too good to be true. It's not going to happen, right? You're not going to get something at such an incredible price point. And I thought it was just going to be canceled or refunded, so I just didn't even bother. I just thought it was so unrealistic. But apparently, people were picking up A6000 kits, A6500, A7 IIIs, long telephoto lenses. Regardless of their price value, they were going for $94, $95. The crazy thing is, on the Petapixel article that they posted, some people have received their items and some were already marked as shipped. So it seems as if Amazon is honoring a good handful of these people's orders. I doubt they're going to honor all of them, but maybe I'm wrong and you're one of those people that got an A9 or something like that, an A7 III or A6000 for $94. And if you were, that's awesome. And congratulations on being the early bird getting the worm. I mean, what else can you do? So if Amazon honors it and they're going to do it, I mean, no worries there. But the last time I took advantage of something like this was, I think like 5 or 6 years ago. Walmart was selling some TVs and I just happened to able to get it at a much more discounted price. But man, the camera deals that are going right now are insane. So yeah, I mean, I know the A7R IV is great, 61 megapixels, but it looks like, you know, $3,500, but people are walking out with less than $100 cameras for brand new products. So that is incredible. But yeah, if you did get something, put it down below. All right, the next story has to do with the Sony A7S III. So as you know, the A7R IV was announced last week, I think. I don't even know anymore, but to some fanfare and then to some silent awes and then to some point of, where's this mysterious A7S III that, you know, good number of people are waiting for, you know, some folks that are in that video kind of segment that want to go into this or go a different route. And Sony surprised everyone with an A7R IV. But it seems as if people's concerns needed to be answered since folks were asking. It looks as if they were wondering, when is this A7S III or what's the situation? And it seems as if the management's reassuring that they're going to try and get the 10-bit 422 4K 60p deal in this camera. At this point, we know that the camera exists, or it's in production. It's not production, but it's in the works. It might already be out there in people's hands and it's being tested. The camera is going to happen. It's not a unicorn, you know. It does exist. It's going to exist at some point, unless it's like Apple's ear charging power or whatever they were calling that. So hopefully that's not the case. But it's strange. It seems to be delayed, but it seems as if Sony's having to reassure everybody, hey, you know, we're still going to release this camera. It's going to happen. And speaking of that whole release, Is it going to happen within this next week? Because in a few days, it seems Sony's going to have another announcement, because they've been having announcements. I think they had the 35 f1.8, then they had the A7R4, and it looks like they're going to have another announcement. And then Sony Alpha Rumors is pinning this next announcement. It's going to actually be a Sony RX10 Mark V. Whew, an RX10 Mark V. I don't know if that's the camera people were kind of hoping for, but it seems along the lines of something that they're going to update. So a little background about the RX10 Mark V is that this camera is your bridge camera, the camera that has a good telephoto zoom range, has a bit wide, 24 to 600. That's been the newest incarnation of the RX10 Mark IV series. I have the RX10 Mark II. I bought it a while back, used for a low price. What I liked about it was the 4K, the 24 to 200 f2.8 constant aperture zoom, the electronic ND filter that was in there. I like that little setup. It just didn't have good autofocusing, but for the time, it was a really good choice. And I really liked it for long form recording, which is, like I said, something that I do a lot of from time to time. And then we got the RX10 Mark III, which got the mega zoom, 24 to 600, variable aperture zoom lens, improved autofocus to some degree, and then RX10 Mark IV just took it up a notch. They brought in the Sony A9 autofocusing system, 24 FPS. You got electronic shutter in there. So you've got a lot of modern features in the RX10 Mark IV. And I actually took that one out for a test spin, shot some football with it. Unfortunately, I only had enough time to shoot football, but when I shot the football game, it was low light conditions, so it didn't perform as well as I did. The autofocusing did good. Like, it tracked the subjects and it kept up with it, but I was shooting at ridiculous ISOs, and so, you know, the quality just wasn't there because of that tiny sensor. But in terms of shooting daytime stuff, people, like, just even the example images that people post on, like, B&H Photo, for example, they're able to get some really great images. And for the casual person that just wants a long telephoto lens, the image quality isn't the most important thing, but maybe capturing whatever it is they're photographing, they really like that particular bridge camera, that Sony RX10 Mark V. But what I want to, Mark IV, but so the thing I do want to kind of point on is, what would this RX10 Mark V have? If this is the camera that they're going to announce, what would it need to have as far as the iterative upgrade? My guess would be you're probably going to get a very similar body. I would absolutely like to see a flippy screen, but hey, you know, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. I really like the ports selections that they already have there. Maybe throw in USB Type-C as far as the ports are concerned. Maybe switch over to UHS-2 so you have a faster card. You can write the buffer better and faster because of that high burst rate that it has. It'd be nice to see a constant aperture zoom lens. My thought would be maybe not go to 600 millimeters, go back to 24 to 200, improve that, go to 2.8 on it, and let people get the RX10 Mark IV if they want that mega zoom, and then have the RX10 Mark V, 24 to 200, f2.8, bring back that electronic ND filter, give us a flippy screen, get the touch autofocus AF tracking, get the A7R4 eye autofocus tracking in video, take advantage of that new microphone that gets mounted onto the A7R4, take advantage of all those new features that have been already implemented into these other cameras. You could probably get animal eye autofocus as well. I think that's the incremental upgrade, touchscreen, that kind of scenario. So is that a camera that people want to upgrade to? Probably not. I think if that's what they offered, you know, same 600 situation, I think they just they would need to do something, you know, to really entice. Because I think the RX10 Mark IV itself was already really good, but it just, I just wonder what that next jump would be. So what do you expect that to be in your mind? What do you think they would need to put in that RX10 Mark V? Not necessarily meaning you're going to go buy one, but what do you think you predict they would put in that RX10 Mark V that might be a good selling point to intrigue the buyer? Just like the A7R4's biggest selling point is the 61 megapixel sensor. I mean, that's really the selling point for that camera. Now, the point right now is that it's going to be an RX10 Mark V. But what if it's the APS-C camera we've been waiting for? Well, I mean, not you, but maybe the more pro-end APS-C camera, that little baby A9 that's been rumored for some time now. That camera would really pique my interest. An APS-C body, something like the 6400. And so what I would like to see if it was going to be the prosumer. I've talked about it before. Have the same setup and layout as the A6400. Maybe squeeze in a headphone port if they can. Not necessary. Be nice if they could. Upgrade to the USB Type-C ports on here. Get the UHS 2 card slot, 20 FPS, Sony A9 autofocusing module inside of the new APS-C prosumer line body. Get the touch autofocus, all this new creature comforts that Sony's been implementing into their camera body systems. And then you've got a seller. And if they price the camera right around the Sony Alpha 6500 price, around $1299 or so, they're going to have a killer APS-C camera. So I think that would be a really awesome direction for them to go. But the question more is, would they want to announce that at this time? I don't think the A6400's been that far off. I think but then again, I mean, they announced the 6300 and the 6500 within like 8 to 9 months apart, I think. So it's not out of the ordinary for them to maybe announce a 6700 or A7000, whatever that's going to be. But what do you think would be in that A6700? What would be your predictions for that? So that is going to do it for my little news segment here in terms of topics. So we'll see if I do this kind of like a weekly basis. And let me know what you think these next announcements are. The thing is, if they don't announce whatever they announce now, the next announcement is going to be around August, it appears. So my issue with the whole waiting with the A7S III is that it sucks for the people that are in the market for it, that are just itching for it, because they want that good autofocusing system. They want the full frame sensor. They want that low light performance. Let those people have it. You know, I know there's some of you screaming, saying things like, there's already a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, or real cinematographers don't use autofocus, or everyone has an argument for why their particular thing is their thing, or the GH5 is already there, or the GH5S is already there. Let them have what they want. You know, we have cameras for all walks of life at this point, and everyone has a particular camera they gravitate towards, and there's that A7S III that these folks are really waiting for. You know, they want that camera. So I hope they get the increased bit rates, I mean, if they can pull off some crazy things like ProRes, but I doubt that's going to happen, or these better codec options in the A7S III. But maybe it's just a thermal issue, but hopefully they can get it worked out. I know they did improvements with their new system of cameras, the A6400. Maybe they can get it all worked out in time, and there's an announcement maybe by November, December of this year. I think that'd be a really good opportunity for the A7S III. And then finally, everyone that's been clamoring and waiting for it can move on with the rest of their lives and make a decision whether they want that camera or go on and get something else. That's going to do it for me in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other content. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.